they call me the one and only. I make sure your girl is never lonely.
Mr. Spoiled Kings, Marilyn Diamond Ring.
Football.
What's happening, people? This is your boy, Jodeci Dion, and I welcome you to another episode of The Sport of Kings. So, the first weekend of the NFL preseason has passed us. So, what's y'all feeling? What y'all think about it? You know, I love football, man, but gotta hate preseason. I mean, just one drive, two drives, if you're lucky, of the starters, and then a whole bunch of no-name, nobodies in there playing. Don't get me wrong, I respect these guys getting their grind on, trying to make a team, trying to get paid, trying to become somebody. But man, it's just horrible to watch. But you know what's even worse than watching the rookies in, the guys trying to make the team play, is watching the starters in, and they're just not vibing. I mean, there's some real bad football being played this past weekend. For example, the Cowboys game versus the Raiders. Man, the starters came in, and it's just, I don't know. You know, I'm a Cowboy fan. I like the Cowboys, but I just worry about them. It's something about the team that just doesn't seem right. And I don't know if it's the receivers, or if it's the running backs, or it's the quarterback, but something's not gelling. I mean, you can't have all that talent on the field and not be able to score a touchdown. So that worries me. And then with the Cincinnati Bengals, they have too much talent. They're like a technical team with stars at every position, but they still can't get anything going. It really seems to me that Carson Palmer is he's trying to feed T.O. the ball too much. And instead of just playing regular football where you go out, call a play, and see what's there and deliver, he's like, okay, gotta find T.O. And so then when he throw the ball to Chad's never in the right position or never has the awareness that the ball's coming towards him. So he never catches it. Now who looked good? I watched a little bit of I have NFL Network, so I can see all the games, you know. But I watched the Tennessee Titans, and the game they played against Seattle, I believe. And they looked pretty good. I mean, that first team offense was pretty impressive. You know, Chris Johnson with his ugly ass was running the ball, and Vince Young was throwing the ball pretty well. I mean, it looked pretty good. You know, the receivers are making some good catches. I was really impressed with their offense. And, of course, the Patriots and the Saints game, that was just real good. You know, their offense is going to be what they are. Just throw the ball crazy, happy, and everybody catches it. Then, of course, the Colts, their game against, I believe it's San Fran, I believe. The Colts look real well. They look real good. You know, as usual, Peyton Manning just throws to anybody to make him a star. Is it me or the Colts trying to get, a full wide receiver set? You know, I mean, back in the day, they had, all black receivers, and now they got, all white receivers. That would it seem like, you know. Or light-skinned receivers. I don't know what it is. But they look pretty good. So, if you're a fan of those teams, I wouldn't be too worried about it. Another thing was fun to see was Tim Tebow finally getting to play, you know, trying to do that Florida stuff here in the NFL. And I can't lie, man. I'm a hater. I hate Tim Tebow. I hate him as much as I hated Peyton Manning in college. I used to love watching college football when Peyton played for Tennessee. Every year, watching his ass get raped by Florida. Boy, they whooped his ass. And he gave the goods. And then the next year when he finally graduated, you know, the brother quarterback coming from Tennessee beats Florida and won a national championship. It was just icing on the cake. It was delicious. I loved it. So then, you know, Tebow came out, man. And Tebow, he's the opposite of Peyton because he's actually a winner. He dominated in college. He was the best player in college, and he just dominated. He won the games by himself pretty much. So there's a part of me as a hater who wanted to see him fail because, I mean, no one can be that perfect. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if that fool does it, if he just, you know, if he's the one, truly the one, then just go ahead, man. You know what I'm saying? But I was pretty impressed with him the other night. You know, he was trying to run the ball as usual, you know, take those blows. He threw the ball like he throws it. You know, I'll give him a little love. He did all right. So, this weekend, I have 2 fantasy football drafts coming up. I'm trying to rebuild my teams and go for something I've never done before. Win consecutively in 2 years in a row. I'm usually an every other year type of player. I'll win a championship or I'll get to the finals one year. The next year I suck or I'm average. And then the following year I come back and win again. So this is my first year. I'm going to really try to focus on my fantasy teams and try to win 2 years in a row in 2 leagues. I'm in what you call keeper leagues. Where basically you keep a couple players from your past or your last year team and you already have them on your roster. So when you draft, you just add more players to, broaden your team. One league is a 3-player keeper league, and the other league is a 5-player keeper league. And so I'm going to give you some hints and some tips on how to draft, depending on what type of league you're in. If you're in a league that starts fresh every year, my personal opinion, the first thing you need to draft is either a top 5 quarterback or a top 5 running back. Honestly, there's not that many in both sections. There are really only 5 top all-star quarterbacks, and in running backs, hell, there's maybe 4 top-notch running backs. If you can get one of those, you're halfway there to having a good team. So, the usuals: Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers this year is getting some love, and maybe, Tony Romo, some guys to think about. And then running backs, if you can't get Adrian Peterson or Chris Johnson, Maurice Jones-Drew, or maybe D'Angelo Williams, then, it don't really matter. You need to get one of those 4. I've never been fortunate enough to have great running backs. So my teams are always built through quarterbacks and defense. I get the best possible quarterback I can possibly get. And then I try to match up my receivers to that quarterback. For example, I have Tom Brady in one of my leagues. So my receivers are definitely Randy Moss and Wes Welker, if I can get him. Get double points. Also, find out how your league scores. My league scores points per catch, per yards, things like that. And of course, touchdowns are 6 points. So if you got a league that give you a lot of points for your receiver catching a lot of balls, you might want to get a receiver that does that. Or if your league is all about just getting touchdowns, then you want to get a receiver that scores nothing but touchdowns. To finish that off, I always try to get one of the top 3 or top 4 defenses. So I have a top 5 quarterback, a top 5 defense, some good receivers, and then so-so average running backs. And if I'm lucky, get a top quality tight end to build my full team. This strategy has definitely helped me out the past, 10 years. Well, people, thanks for watching this episode. I'll be back this weekend, hopefully, with some live footage from my drafts. If not, I'll see you next week. This is Jodeci Dion. Peace.